Hey, it's Christina Merkley here for another one of our free recorded visual coaching sessions. Brave people just show up on my doorstep and drop into work. So our brave person today is Natalie, and Natalie, welcome. You, one of our other folks that we see up there is a friend or colleague of yours and told you about this. So I know you've watched her session out of those wealth of videos that are up there, and something in there, herself convinced you this would be something that would be of help and support. So yay. So anything you want to share as we just kind of circle around what we might work with today?
Sounds good. Well, I'm really excited to see sort of what emerges here, and the reason that I made contact with you is because I'm sort of at a crossroads of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I've been um, chipping away at a degree that I had initially started just for the sake of studying, and it's sort of taken shape over the last 5 years. And I also have a small business that has allowed me to sort of support my studies, and I have really enjoyed the creative aspect of being in business, although
Yay. Yes.
I'm not sure the industry is for me.
Mm,
So it's something that I've really been struggling with.
mm,
And I've got something sort of coming to a head in terms of commercial leases and stuff like that, wrapping up right around the same time that I'll be wrapping up my degree. And,
mm.
uh, I've been working so hard to get to this point, and I'm in a situation now due to COVID that has allowed me to study at a greater pace than
Mm-hmm.
I had initially planned for, which I'm so thankful
Mm.
for. But now it feels like where I felt like things weren't going fast enough for so long. Now I'm like, oh my goodness, slow down. Like every week that goes by, I I feel like I need more time because I feel so uncertain about what
Mm.
my life is going to look like
Mm-hmm.
in a year from now.
Okay. Well, ding, ding, ding. I know what process move to do with you.
Okay,
We're
great.
gonna go meet your future self.
Okay.
Who can tell us? Yeah. Yeah, that's what comes to me as I hear this. So um, let me just flash my screen. Oops,
Sure.
so you can see what I'm doing here. And that tricky mouse of mine just screwed up my view again, so I'll just adjust that. Okay. I just got this new wireless mouse, and every time I touch it, you'll see in a second here my digital paper, but it just like moves it on me. So
No fun.
I I gotta like stop hitting my mouse in weird ways. Okay. Can you see this paper in front of you? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I just kind of took some quick little notes as you're talking, just high level, right? We know the degree, we know the business, we know the commercial lease coming up, and then just the uncertainty around the future. And again, that made me think, probably makes sense to go in here and meet your future self. This is decidedly a right brain approach to it. I mean, you've opened up and given me the nice left brain logical, right? And there's definitely ways we could work with this. But since I only have an hour-ish with you, one of the fast ways to get answers out of people is to do something a little more alternative and do a right brain exercise with you. It does require a certain amount of openness, but I'm going to guess you're a pretty open person because you jumped in with this stranger online. So that's going to work in my favor. Yeah. Good. Good. So you told me have you ever done anything like that? Any sort of, I chafe at the word imagination because imagination tends to get discounted in our world, right? Everything kind of begins there, but um, guided meditation stuff, visioning, is that some of
Um,
that territory?
little bit of a little bit of or meditation
Yep.
with sort of a focus on um, just seeing what sort of images sort of
Mm-hmm.
come up. And
Right.
then lots of deliberate work with dream work and
Ah, cool.
yeah, and dream analysis. So lots of image.
Nice, cool. That was my entry work way back in the day too, was
Oh
dream
yeah,
work. Yeah, a
yeah.
woman named Gail Delaney. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was here in Victoria, and then I just ended up going down to San Francisco, and then I ended up being a research assistant. So here I was reading her book, and then flash forward as I pursued my dreams. The next book or two, there was a dedication to me in the front of it, so, from as a research assistant. So it's like, this is wonderful that you're so connected in with the dreams, because it just tells me that you're already tapped into the power of the unconscious and just that deeper self, right? And the dove play between the left brain side of us and the right brain, and the hard part is the translation, right? Interpreting those dreams, and that's kind of what we're playing with here too. Different states of consciousness, moving into the alpha state, theta state, part of us. So this is good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to bring up a template here. I'm just going to insert it in. Let's see. I've got all these digital maps. So this is the fun of working spontaneously, someone here in a little bit, and then I can zero in on which one makes sense. So I'm going to bring up the future self one. And it's a very basic, generic kind of figure in here to represent you. Doesn't do you justice, but gives us a starting place. And I'll just orient you to what this is, and then we'll go do it. So in a sec here, we all do. We have tons of different variances of future selves out there. So we want to get clear. You had said 1 year, and that might be the one you go see, or it might make more sense to maybe even do something with a little more stretch of time. So in a sec here, we'll figure out, before you go visit her, which one you're going to go visit. And she's out there somewhere, and she's got a space and a place. So usually we get some details about that. She herself are going to have some characteristics. She might be quite similar to you, or there might be some differences on the outside, or feels and stuff in the inside. So we'll gather up, your interpretation of her. And then she knows you're coming. You can kind of feel her as we're even talking here. She's like, oh, good, she's coming. Maybe she's the one who got you here, right? And she's getting ready to host you, to come and sit down and show you around and have a huddle, right? So you can ask her about her life. You can talk to her about your current crossroads, and what to do about the degree and the lease and these various things, right? And we'll see what happens. Given you do dream work, you probably are going to have an edge there to be able to sense what those communications are, right? Because sometimes it's not super literal. Like sometimes it is. They speak to you and you can hear them. Other times you might get senses and knowings, right? And so we'll see what happens with you and how the two of you communicate with each other. But just to really reassure and just prompt, however it comes, just to kind of trust it, even if it feels like you're making it up, because you're making it up in your own unique way that normally has a lot of wisdom to it. So yeah, so we'll just see how that goes as you gather that information and receive it. And sometimes even after these sessions, you'll continue to have a channel open to her, and she does become, if you care to continue it, she'll probably show up in your dreams, but you can use her as an ally, right? I'm introducing you to what could be a lifelong ally. And this future self has future selves too, right? So if the two of you ever get stuck, that's the wonderful thing about consciousness, is you can travel out through the timeline and go find somebody who has a more developed state of consciousness than the two of you to help you with where you're at. So there's this wonderful chain that we can play with here of intelligence. Yeah.
Good. sounds great.
Yeah. So there's areas in here to whatever you talk about with her, I'll take notes. And if there's advice on direction and next steps, sometimes there's gifts, things that she wants to give you. It might be something tangible or something intangible, like a feel or a quality or something. So I'll prompt and see if there's a gift. Yeah, so that kind of gives you the general feel of it. And you have lots of leeway in there to go wherever you want to go with the conversation. And so does she, because sometimes different things will happen with the future self too, that she wants to show you somewhere or lead you somewhere or do something. So she might have some things that kind of deviate out of this too. We need two things. We need to figure out how far out in time are we going, and just an intuitive feel. And then the second thing is we need some sort of travel device. And it doesn't have to be a device, literally. It could be something organic, but we got to move you forward in time. So what is your mode of choice? So let's go to the date. Oh, you did one pop already? Yeah.
What I said, what are my
Oh,
options?
let me throw out some. I'll throw out some classics and then we'll see. Things like, some people like bubbles and rainbows. Unicorns are popular. Flying carpets. Back to the Future car. The TARDIS. The Who. Doctor Who. The Star Trek transporter stuff or some sort of variants of that. Does that give you some options?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trees, organic things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Vines. Yeah.
yeah, like a canopy of some sort in the trees, but I'm not sure if they transport you to the future or not.
Well, I think we can go with it because they're probably magical ones. So I think trees are kind of uh, not well understood for their magic and magnificence. So
Yeah,
being surrounded by a lot of trees myself, I totally relate to that. Yeah.
yeah, something that I can sort of climb to the top of to get a clear view of things, but
Yeah.
I still would like to be very much connected to the earth.
Beautiful. Yep. Yeah. And depending on the species of tree, longevity. I'm surrounded with magnificent cedars and things like that have such a long time and a great perspective. So, okay, boom, we got it. So we've got the canopy of trees that's going to take you there. I can work with that. That's great. And then who are we going to go visit? How far out in time does it make sense? The year range, or 18 months, 2 years, 5, 10, 15, 20, beyond?
Yeah, 2 years.
Okay. Yep. So now we're here. It's the end of mid-end, I guess, February of 2021. So that would take us to 23. Do you want to stick with February, or is there another month?
I don't know that it needs to be a specific month, but 2023 sounds right.
Yep. Okay. The reason I go for a month is, to your subconscious mind, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And it's fine to leave it open and it'll find it in there. Or beginning, middle, or end, because especially in these times, a lot can happen in 12 months.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it just where it is, February 2023. You tell me.
Yeah, yes, that's good.
Okay. And if it needs to, it'll morph on us. So we'll just trust that. Okay, that's all I need. So we're ready. Don't worry about the graphics because you have to kind of go inside. So I'm like your note taker, and you'll be communicating to me across distances, and I'll be writing it down. And chances are your eyes will be closed or maybe focused somewhere, whatever, right? Probably not on the screen. So when you open up, you're going to get hit with a lot of words and imagery. So just know that I'll walk you through it to help acquaint you to it. And you'll have just been through it. So it's going to be a summary of whatever happened. You can also I'll send a copy of this to you, and you can continue to add to it too, right? If I don't miss it or I didn't get the right nuance or something on it, you can continue to build it out. And what you do with your dreams too is going to be interesting, right?
Yeah.
To see if she continues to give you more things to add to this. Okay. Okay, so with that, we'll both kind of shift state and just kind of sit back and shake it off and let that talking and stuff, left brain approach go, a little bow to it. Thank you, we need that. And I'm going to close my eyes too, because I've been running around all day. So just kind of settling in. Both of us, we might become aware of the seats that we're sitting in. I know for myself, as I'm slowing down a bit and breathing, my shoulders are like coming down. We invite that, however it's happening over in your nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the feet come down onto the floor a little bit more and get solidly planted. Whatever's comfortable, but still alert. And just continuing to breathe. When we breathe in, relaxation, peace, and calm. When we breathe out, just any of the worries of the day or the whatever it might be. There's multiple things going on in your crossroads, so just dropping that. Knowing we're about to go on a journey, a fun journey to your future self who's waiting on the other side, delighted that you're going to use this magnificent canopy to travel forward in time and go connect with her.
Mm-hmm.
So however you do it, you will do it in your own unique way. You might see, feel, taste, smell, touch, whatever it is. Just know, just do it. There's this magnificent trees, right? These trees, maybe there's the same species or maybe they're various ones all intermingled, but however they're doing it, their branches form this canopy up there in the sky. Maybe you're down below them and somehow you find yourself to one in particular. Maybe there's even a little telepathic thing like, is it okay for me to climb up you? Are you the one? Will you take me forward in time? And just see, there might even be a little quick interchange happening here with this tree as you select the right one and kind of ask permission and see who kind of signals you that come on over. Have you got a tree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. And between you and the tree, you'll figure it out whether you climb up there or it lifts you up or however it does it. Embraces you or shows you something secret of how to do this, but it knows exactly. I kind of felt this boomerang as it stretches out over time and kind of shepherds you across the years and deposits you over there. So as that swing kind of happens or however it's going on your end, it's just reaching and lifting you out of 2021. Yes, please, good idea. It's kind of a little intense here. And it's moving you through seasons, moving you into the springtime and the summertime and into the fall and winter, and you cross into the next year, 2022. And then also it has moved you through that next year, moving through winters and springs and summers and falls, and now it's crossed into 2023, and it's gently depositing you just, a month or two shy of that year cross into the home and place or wherever she is. It might not be her home, it might be some other environment of your future self. And that tree will be there to take you back. However it does it, it will. And as you're coming in for a landing, if you haven't already, just coming in for a landing for 2023. And, kerplunk, you kind of get deposited down there onto that land, wherever you are. Just take a moment, maybe even feel the impact of landing and kind of come into a new place there. Maybe it's the old place, but time has passed. And you might even, because she is just chomping to meet you, you might even make a connection to the future self, or maybe she's already zoomed right in there. Just let me know what's going on so I can
Yeah,
jot it down if need be.
this tree has let me down very gently into a backyard.
Mm.
Um, and there's a fence um, surrounding the yard. It's a half fence, not a full fence.
Mm-hmm.
And the tree that has brought me back down to earth is just on the other side of that fence.
Oh, nice.
And there's a house attached to this yard.
Mm.
And I can't quite tell if I have just had a human baby or if I'm
Mm.
um, about to have one, but something's happening there.
Yeah.
It kind of falls back and forth.
Sense of a being, a little being there. How nice. Now you're coming to visit. And so just see, maybe the baby is there or the being or whatever's there, but the future self is there.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows, maybe she's realized, oh, you've arrived. See as she comes towards you or you go towards her. See what happens if you get a sense of her, and as she comes towards you, anything that you pick up. Again, it doesn't matter if you don't see her, you might feel. No, I do a lot of this stuff and I just feel, I don't necessarily see. So just see what happens with you.
Yeah, she's very, very grounded.
Mm.
Kind of looking at me like, what are you so worried about?
Aw, yeah. Well, that's an entry line. There's where you can, well, let me tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we get there, any other things you pick up? She's grounded. Anything else you notice about her? Right? This is a first impression, even though it's yourself, right? Like, what's your first impressions of her?
She's fairly robust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and just looking at me like, you'll get it. You'll clue in. I'm not going to give you all the answers.
Ah, yeah. Sometimes they do that. Yep. Now, just check out her environment you have already, but see if she wants to lead you somewhere. She's not going to give you all the answers, but maybe she might spend some time with you. So just see if she wants to lead you around, or she wants to take you somewhere, or she wants to play hostess, whatever it might be. And if she was to allow you to dialogue with her a bit, where does she take you for the two of you to kind of have a conversation or to be with each other, whatever wants to happen here?
Yeah, she says, no sense just sitting around or standing there. Come and get your hands dirty and work with me in the garden.
Oh, nice. What a great place to go. So going to the garden and getting your hands dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please. So as you go in there, what is she growing? What's her garden have?
Carrots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Notice some carrots.
yeah.
Great.
Seeing some carrots, and it looks like maybe she's in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's already taken a bunch of vegetables out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, because it's not neat. and tidy right now.
What is it?
Lots of dirt, lots of soil.
Mm,
She's working with the soil.
cool. So as you get on in there with her and kind of get into this, it makes sense how grounded. That was one of the first things you noticed in this world was the groundedness. In fact, the tree deposited you on the ground. So
Yeah.
maybe even making a little connection to the ground and feeling its energy. Just feels like it's special there. And she's put some work and energy in here, in this soil and dirt and what she's doing with it and her robustness. Now, often when we get to work, this reminds me of some of my very grounded relatives who live in that area. If that area is where you are, right, that they can be people of little words, but when they speak in volumes. And when they do their work, they don't necessarily like to speak. So you're there with her, with the ground, doing whatever's happening. See what you're called to if you are brave enough to attempt a conversation here with her. Knowing that she's not going to give you all the answers, but what do you want to say to her? What's kind of most up for you? You're a time traveler here and you're looking for her guidance and support.
Mm-hmm. I would just really, I'm very curious as to how she got where she is, because it seems like a very different place from where I'm at and where I have been for a very long time.
Mm. Yeah, so this is wow, this is different. How did you what's going on here with this difference? Good. So beam that over to her. She's probably already getting it. And just see if there's anything that's going to come back from her. What does she have to say? It's a valid enough question. How does she respond? What do you get from her?
That there are more than one way.
Mm-hmm.
There's more than one way to live.
Mm-hmm.
And that her way of living, it doesn't take away from the value of the way that I have been living. It's just
Yep. Yeah, that's nice. So there's no judgment or criticism or anything. It's just different. Value to both. Good, you've had both experiences.
And I wanna say, are you bored? Are you bored? You seem very content and grounded, and you possess some sort of wisdom or knowing, but I also can't help but think or wonder if you're bored with how things are now.
Yeah. Okay. Valid enough question again from your perspective. See how she responds.
She says sometimes.
Aren't we all sometimes?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Great. So now it's it's a ping pong back and forth. So she says that. So where do you go next?
Yeah.
Now what do you want to ask her?
Um, what do you do with that boredom?
Hmm.
And she says, I make things.
Ah. What do you ask from there? I'd be like what kind of things? She may give you that, she may not, but just wherever you naturally go in the conversation.
Well, I wanna say I understand making things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what about yeah, why are you making things?
Yeah.
Why? And yeah, she just says you'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they don't want to make it too easy for us because
Yeah.
it strips us of our journey, right? So, but you can get essence. You're getting essence from her, which is important. So you know it's kind of a more rural or something environment going on.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's potentially a being there on its way in terms of a baby. And then she's in the ground here and she's making things. So that's a lot. That's a lot of information. So we want to just thank her for that. Now, I want to see something. We have to be respectful and ask her permission, but just see if she would be open for you embodying her, actually becoming her for a moment and slipping on into her body so you can be her from the inside out. It won't be too long, but just see if she's up for that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, great. So, with permission granted, just through your abilities to do this, somehow we can do this with our future selves, especially only when they give permission, but just sliding on in there and jumping in and merging with her. And as you do so, your limbs become her limbs and torsos and head and all of her, right? You just kind of slip right in there. And what do you know? You are her. You're standing, you're her. You can feel it from the inside out. And just take a moment to calibrate. Because there might be a shift in the energy. So just notice if there's any changes or shifts there, what it feels like to be her. And here you are on this land in her environment, maybe even feeling that grittiness of the dirt, fingers and fingernails,
Mm-hmm.
and stand there for a moment, grounded. Just allowing your nervous system to calibrate to hers, all the way down to that RNA, DNA, cellular level. breathing through her nose, standing on her feet. Her home there, aware of the making, how it feels to make, how things, you might not know it logically, but you can sense and feel it, this production somehow, whether it's through your own means or there's a team or network or a vendor's connection, delivery route, something, who knows what it is. But see if you can sense it and pick up on it, even if you don't know the form. She's got a having, right? She has this. So you can probably pick up on the feeling of the having. And it may be in a state of evolution too, right? So you might even from here get a sense of there's more unfoldment, there's more being lined up, there's more developing. Just like all sorts of things happen to get you here and you stand on the shoulders of your younger selves, even the one that's come here from 2021. I'm very grateful for all those experiences. They've made you. You now have, she now has also, an unfoldment happening. There's more. She's got a future self, many of them all lined up there as you both do. They're your future selves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, my instinct in this energy is to sort of wrap things up in the garden and get going on dinner in the kitchen.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Good. So she's got a schedule and things that she needs to do. So when you're ready, slipping yourself back out, but having had that experience, you're taking it with you, right? You're taking that vibration, frequency, whatever you want to call it, tone of her, as you pull yourself out and stand in front of her again. That was a gift. So just thank her for that opportunity. And it's nonverbal, right? It's like a feeling somatic thing, an energetic thing. That's very powerful. And you take it, your cells, now that they've been aligned with it, right? The resonance of that, the attunement, you take it with you, even though you pop back out into your current form in front of her. Check, that was a gift in and of itself, but just check to see if there's anything that she wants to gift you. You will be going back and traveling back to 2021 here soon enough. But just see if there's anything that she physically or symbolically wants to give you. And if so, what is it?
She's telling me that my desire for more in my career and all the things I've learned up to this point won't go wasted, and that I will be able to return to them someday. And I'll be stronger and better prepared. And less tired.
So if you're not tired, what are you?
Rested.
Wow, that's something to feel into, right? What does it feel like not to be tired? Oh, rested.
Yeah, that's novel.
Yeah, that's kind of that what it felt like in her. That's called rested. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's big. Thank you for that. So she's giving you that perspective. She's giving you reassurance, support, literally telling you some things here.
Yeah.
And you're in a process here. It's making you stronger. It's making you better prepared. And it's actually some rest is happening. I've got one of them filled out. There's two other kind of big quote bubbles here, and they're collecting like key messages, and she's already giving you some, but just ask her if there were two more main things that she could get across from her consciousness to yours. What are those two big messages that she wants you to really leave with?
Just trust the way things unfold naturally
Hmm.
instead of trying to reach. Because things will present themselves even though they don't feel like it right now.
Yeah.
And you are loved.
Wow. Important one to write. Just feel the love from her. And other places that the love may be coming from too. Just that love vibration. How nice. So key, so important. The two of you're in connection. You were before you even knew this connection existed, but it's made it more conscious doing this. So just see, you'll be able to continue the conversation, as will she. If the two of you care to, it'll be happening in the dreams at that level regardless. But before we wrap this particular connection between the two of you, as you start to make your way back to that special tree, again, seeing if there's anything else that she wants to communicate or give or reassure, any other things you want to ask. You did have some things about the commercial lease, so you might want to ask that one, right? That's a practicality. What should I do about this? She might just leave it for you to figure out, but see if there's any guidance around that, around the degree, around the current business and commercial lease, and this uncertainty of 2021 that you're currently in, because you're going to go back to it here and see what she wants to say about that stuff.
Yeah, she just keeps saying to trust whatever pops up
Yeah.
along the way.
Okay.
And to pay attention.
Okay, good. Trust. Things pop along the way. Pay attention. Good. Do you have any yabas? Do you have any, like, yaba? If now, what do you want to say to her? If that's, it may be landing, but if there's anything that's not landing or that you're still kind of, I'm not going to say whiny about, but
Yeah,
right? Because I'd be whining. I'm like, come on, give me some. Yeah.
I feel a degree of irritation that she won't
Mm-hmm.
give me more concrete answers in terms of how I get from where I am now to where she
Mm-hmm.
is. But she's stubborn. And
Also, just firm boundaries, right? It's the whole chicken pecking its way out of the egg thing that you actually don't serve by interfering with that process, because you know you're going to end up stronger and better prepared, but that's because of the pecking through the egg that you're currently in, is my guess. That's kind of, my future self is a little tough that way too.
Yeah.
And I run into other ones like this occasionally. You've got the same. Yeah. So like going through the process is important, and the naturalness, and that's also a lesson, right? Being versus doing, the feminine principle versus the masculine principle. Those of us who, women especially, right, who can do a lot, and it sounds like you do, you got business and degree and all these things. That's wonderful, deep bow to it. And we can be a little underdeveloped in the other way because we're used to pushing things along the physical plane. And part of what's going on with COVID, we can't push the way that we usually do because things are outside of our control, and there's other pushing going down on bigger levels and stuff. So it's like our usual ways don't work, at least temporarily. But there's a wonderful opportunity to develop the other, and that's what I hear her saying, right? And it's frustrating for our left brains and our doers and our you know, task side of us, the masculine side.
Yeah, it's a lot of time with myself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so that too, right? So ask her, see what she says about the time by the self, that how hard that is in the now. She already said your love, so that's going to help. She can actually be with you, right? Even when you might be more alone or by yourself in 2021, but any guidance, she's gone through it, or, you know, she's got more on you than what you're at. So what's her guidance about that loneness and isolation that so many are having to go through with the COVID stuff?
She says, you already know how to do this.
Mm.
That you've been doing it. You just aren't used to having all the space and the freedom to do more of it.
Oh, interesting. So it's actually kind of becoming used to or familiar or okay with more freedom and space. It feels different, right? Because you're used to having a bunch of other stuff in there or whatever. And it's like, well, it's actually still happening, and there's this freedom and space, if I'm understanding right.
Yeah.
So what's her guidance about this freedom and space stuff?
Don't try to fill it.
Mm.
Just wait to see what pops up.
Nice.
Just sit with it, be with it, keep doing your work.
Mm.
You come out of the basement, so to speak. Is what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to go back down into the basement.
Mm.
But you don't have to fly either.
Ah. Wow. No extremes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So that pressure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Feel that sigh of relief. Taking that kind of overperformance pressure stuff off. And it doesn't mean you're a loser, you're not down there in the depths, right? It's like, no, neither. Not down in the basement and not up flying either, right in between. And that's good. That's okay. That's right where you should. Rest, rest.
Yes.
Wait. Right timing here. Things will pop. Just sit, just be, right? Not the do, the be. And trusting, and feel the love. Keep doing. You are doing your work, so you keep doing it, but it doesn't have to be all encompassing, and it doesn't have to be huge heights and flying and soaring. That, that will come if that's to come. But right now it's right in between, that kind of neutral zone.
Mhm.
And that's okay, and that's good, and that has a purpose. Don't wreck it by worrying about it. Those are my words. Bad interpretation, but
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. I think I'm used to finding that stillness and doing my work and resting when I'm in the basement. So when I'm very much on the ground and the sun is still shining, it just
mm,
has a very different flavor to it.
mm. Okay, good. And basement's used in a certain context here too, so good. And it's kind of seasonal and everything. So yes, please, to stillness.
Mhm.
And yes, please, to the natural timing of in the basement and outside. All in the right timing. Seasons know how to do it.
Yeah.
No rush. It unfolds. Don't try to fill it all. Just have the freedom, have the space. Just ask her, are we getting it?
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting it. I'm getting the notes down right. Yay. I'm learning right alongside. So bow to your future self. I appreciate her wisdom, and that she doesn't give it to you all easy as
Yeah.
well, because, that's how we learn. That's how we develop. It's honorable.
Gotta be her German roots.
Yeah. Oh, you good. Yeah. So we got that in common too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep bow to the German roots. Whether it's acknowledgement, right? Acknowledgement, respect, honor to the roots. They may react or to the bowing or whatever, but that's just a way of saying it to recognize them. Thank you, thank you. Might be some things that we don't like that we inherit, and that's okay. We can just say a polite no thank you. Filling, busy, all that kind of stuff. No thank you. But a deep bow to the hard work, that work ethic, the skills, the perseverance, the sense of adventure, any other things that you particularly know that came from that side of your family or both sides, whatever it might be.
Yeah, both sides.
You got a double whammy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Strong people. And often there might be survival stuff too, right? Living in those seasons, those harsh places that have long winters, and the whole immigration, maybe coming to another place that has even more long winters, and all those, like, well done. They persevered and they survived and they passed it on to their descendants. And then here you are, the female descendant in 2021, 22, 23, this whole time period, right? And she's teasing it out, how to take those good things from the lineage and then how to also soften some things, because circumstances are different. And the lineage was able to continue to unfold because of those previous generations, right? So they did their job well, because you exist. Also getting a sense of them too, like, ooh, they're like, what's she gonna make, right? They're kind of like watching and helping and assisting because they love, you are love. They love you. They love their descendants. They did a lot of things for them. So they're so happy that you're safe and you're unfolding and you're entrepreneurial and you're smart and capable and connected.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
I can feel my whole body speaking about my ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
And that I have my own destiny.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Look kindly on me. I have my own, it's my time, my way.
Yeah.
Different, not less valuable. I'll be a little different, maybe a lot different. Deep out of the German roots, and I have my own destiny. Nice. Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be ones back there too who also were different and broke away and did things. And so those ancestors in particular are going to have a little sparkle in their eye for you. And support that have my own destiny, because they too had theirs and maybe were able to actualize it or not able to actualize it. So they're going to be particularly interested in you and your own destiny and the actualization and just wishing you well and helping and support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting a very strong message from my mom, and she just keeps saying, "This is for you."
Hi, Mom. Yes,
Yeah.
please. Nice.
I did what I had to do so that you could
Mm-hmm.
have your life different from mine.
Wow.
I don't know how we went over there though.
Well, this is okay. This is the beauty of what happens. That's, you went through the land, so, and the trees, and your future self made the connection and pointed. She's like, you'll get it. You'll clue in. She's helping you clue in here.
Yeah.
This is important, the ancestry, and just, we so appreciate them coming, and particularly your mother. Hello, Mom. And that's big for how beautiful, this is for you. You have your own destiny. I did what I did so you could have your own life. It's okay for you to be different and to pursue that. It's it's loved, it's encouraged, it's allowable, it's wanted. Forging your own way, yes, please. And the love and appreciation and perspective from Mother to do that. Yay. Beautiful. So with that, you'll take this connection with Mom. She's always there, as are your ancestors, as is your future self. They're in the formless, but you're in the form. But there's a relationship between you and them. Firm boundaries, doing your own thing, but nice to know that they're there and they're supportive, and you can call on them. You have allies to assist. Wonderfully supportive, intelligent, capable allies, creative allies. Making your way back to the magnificent tree. Just taking a final moment to thank your future self and to receive her goodbyes and to give your goodbyes to her. See you in our dreams.
Yeah, I'd like to stay in touch.
Yay. Yeah, just see how she responds.
She says, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's allowable.
Yeah.
So practical. I love her.
Very.
Yeah. Straightforward German. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. 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 Yeah, so good thing. And so just check, how do we do that? Do we do it through dreams? Can I travel to you this way too? Because now that you know how to do this, just use the tree again and get yourself here anytime you need to have another conversation or you want to get your hands in the ground.
Yeah.
And other ways.
This tree, yes, this magical tree.
Mm-hmm. That's your journey method. Perfect. Okay, good news. Good news that she'll allow the ongoing connection. Thank you. Thank you. And connecting back with the tree and however the tree is doing it, if it's just gently lifting you up and it's taking you back, the reverse journey over time. So saying goodbye for now to 2023, you'll morph and evolve to this soon enough, but traveling back to your time one must return to.
Yeah.
So whipping through those seasons, the 23 crossing the line into 22 and through those seasons, and then coming down into that 21 place through the seasons, and then finding just the right month and just the right day here in February 2021, coming back from this remarkable journey, and the trees planting you gently down right there in front of the computer on that particular seat, and you're re-inhabiting this body. And when you're ready, thanking the tree, it's there to help you out and assist in the future, coming back to the here and now, moving your limbs and body here, and when you're ready, opening your eyes softly and gently. You'll get hit with a bit of a kaboom of the map eventually.
Oh,
Kaboom!
yeah.
There. It's a bit of a kaboom, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just take your time, because as we're coming back from right brain and alpha zone and theta zone, right? Coming back to betas, and we'll take some time. So you can still think through the alpha frequency here. And I'll just acquaint you softly here. You'll have this map, and so you can look at it in more detail later. But left to right, so just starting with the trees, right? Just a depiction. The map is not the territory, so these things will be a pale comparison to what's going on inside, but hopefully they're memory devices, right? So you've got the tree here, and it's touching you down over here into the space of the future self with the house and the garden. And there's a baby being somewhere or about to be hovering around there. So that sense, the dirt and the soil, the groundedness and the robustness. Up in the red are some of the main points in those bubbles. So first off, so cute. She's saying, you'll get it, you'll clue in. I'm not going to give you all the answers, kid, forget it. Only 2 years older, but she's got that kind of feel. Trust the way things unfold natural, right? Natural is such a beautiful theme through this. You're loved. You don't have to reach, and things will present themselves. In terms of practicalities in the green here, she's saying, I make things. And your desire for more and all you have done is not wasted. You'll return to them someday. And it makes you stronger and better prepared. And there's a big thing about rest going on. So she's pointing that out, you're getting rested through this process. Let me move this so we can get these off. The gift was not something, it was more amorphous with you. All of this was a gift, but she's saying, you're going to come out of the basement and stay out. You don't have to go back in, and you don't have to fly either. So this whole kind of yin yang of polarity here, like, no, you're right here. It's okay to be right in the middle. At crossroads, and that has stillness. And to keep doing your work, you're doing, even though maybe you're not doing it in the way that you're used to, because there's more space and stuff happening, that you're still on track, you're still doing your work. And you can also be, and you can sit, and you can see what pops, and you can wait. Up here in the brown, there's more than one way to live. It's just different. and to trust. You're going to pop along the way. Something's going to pop. Pay attention. You already know how to do this. You aren't used to more freedom and space, so don't try to fill it all, right? There's this other beautiful, gorgeous stuff she was talking about here, this being stuff, the resting, the waiting, trusting. And then we had some beautiful ancestral work that emerged. Sometimes that happens. So you had that happen. It came through the roots, the German roots, and having your own destiny. Big nod to the family on both sides. And there's some stuff you want to leave behind, right? And forge your own path. So, and your mom popped up to make that message very clear. I don't know if she was like that. I'm assuming your mom's passed. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So was she like that living as well? Or is this different for her from across the veil to say?
Yeah, she was a fighter, and definitely broke away in a lot of ways from the way that she was raised, and you know, in a sense, paid the consequences for that.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the message there is just, this is for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did what I did so you could have a different life too. And it sounds like you do care too. I'm hearing a strong commitment, love, appreciation for family, and also retaining some of that stuff that mom fought for, and that's her own journey too, right? Might be different from who you are and what you're fighting for, but there is a layer of appreciation for mom's fight, and that to some extent that buffer between the ones before her, right, her generation and yours, she moved something. She, you know, with what she did, she created different conditions, right? It was like a step in the process here. And you are doing something too with what you're about and what your unique and differentness is. And that's tied into mom's journey to some extent, right? You don't have to fully own it. That's all hers.
Yeah, yeah. She does seem like it. When I imagine my ancestors, my mom does feel like a very much a buffer between myself and all the others. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just interesting how it unfolds over time, right? And it's incremental shifts happen. Sometimes really big things get accomplished in generations too, like these big gigantic moves and things. But you know, that's kind of enough for one generation, right?
Yeah.
So the next generations kind of take the baton and move it forward from there and from there and from there, right? In their own ways that can really differ from, you know, several generations and centuries ago, right? So there can be some clashes, but usually those, the ones who pop up, I've had a Kundalini awakening, and I have quite a lot of stuff that happens with the deceased, and it's not unusual to have them show up. I'm not a traditional medium, at least at this stage of things, but I'm very blessed to be able to have what happened here with you, with others as well. And so I can kind of feel them. I'm a somatic person. I feel and know. So I don't know why that came up, but it's just to kind of reassure. And that's kind of like an extra bonus. Sometimes when people get around me, that's what happens.
Yeah.
And just to like, just there's a lot of appreciation. I also do constellation, family constellation, systemic work, and ancestors and relatives will often pop up. So I really trust it and appreciate it. And also know too that in their new vantage points, they understand things differently. So their personalities can be quite different from how they were if we did know them, or how they were back in the day. Some stick with their kind of biases and perspectives, but thankfully there's a big group of them, right? So you can also kind of be a selective sifter and kind of no thank you to the ones who might be from their, you know, judgmental perspective. Understandably, their soul's still working their stuff. But for the ones that have a special affinity, that can be another place to receive support. That often those of us who have maybe moved away from homelands, a lot of people have, right, who don't have those land roots, and through antiquity kind of lose some of those connections. This work that we're doing here can be very important, right, to kind of reclaim some of that. Anybody who's lost, and most of us just know 1 or 2 generations, right? So, but they're back there, and we can connect with the ones who can appreciate who we are and what we're doing, right? If you're a bit of a renegade or a different one, there are other ones back there too who can be rooting for you and really curious, right? Like, what's she gonna do?
Yeah.
And be what you gonna be, because some of them will be like, we did too much doing, so just to be, enjoy it, it's okay, let down the load.
Yeah, what's it like to have all this freedom and all this choice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why they did a lot of the hard, courageous things they did, so that the future generations would have those things. And then the future generations are programmed to doing that they have a hard time, like, man, COVID and other things have given me all this space, so how do I receive it? How do I acclimatize? Because the whole momentum from the RNA DNA, right, is like, no, we work hard, and it's nose to the grindstone and produce. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, you rest because you need to, not because you can.
yeah, or those feelings of like you're lazy or bad or you're sloughing off, and, you know, chop kind of come up. So yeah. So you just a hush hush.
Yeah.
Shh, hush hush.
Thanks.
It's time to rest. We can put it down. Thank you for all your hard work. And the resting will help you. This is temporary. It will kick in and it will unfold, and you'll be rested, and there'll be plenty more hard work to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll be able to do it because you've been able to let it drop so that you can actually rest the system here. Nice. Well, that's what happened. You dropped by, and we never know what's going to happen. So I'm so glad you dropped by. What a beautiful journey. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really love this. Are you going to send me
Yep.
this
I'll send you, I'll do a little puttering with it, a little coloring and stuff. I'll send it to you by the end of the day. And eventually, I have a bit of a backlog with getting the free recorded sessions up on the YouTube channel and stuff. So you can keep an eye. I don't know if you know where that is. I'll put the link in the email I send to you. You might want to subscribe to that channel, and then you'll get notifications and stuff when new videos drop. But yours will eventually make its way up there. But you'll get the map tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to check out some more.
Yeah, use your intuition too. There's a lot. So that's what I kind of say to people is just use your intuition. I try to do the gist with the titles, but it's hard with just a little amount of space, right? So sometimes the titles don't necessarily do justice to what's going on in that video. So you're an intuitive person. I would just use your intuition when you get there of like, this one, and trust and see what you click on. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, there's a wealth of beautiful stuff, and so thank you. You're adding to it. It was really a delight to meet and work with you, and a real honor, especially to connect with the German roots, given half of mine are that. Yeah, so appreciate it very much. Okay, well, take good care. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All the best.
You too.